Hello, everybody, and welcome to what is my favourite time of the week, eSport Friday. So we've had a lot. I've actually had a lot of feedback from people over the last couple of weeks saying they've been really enjoying eSport Friday because, particularly for people of my generation, Cam, which is I'm a little bit older than your good self, nearly twice the age.
Just one or two years.
This whole esports space is a mystery to me. So I look forward to what you've got in store for us. So without further ado, I'll introduce to the audience the sports community, esport guru, digital guru, Cameron Osterlund. Where are we going today?
Well, thank you. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Today, we are answering a question that was posed by Gary Leach last week on the stream, which I thought was probably a very good way to go. How do you stream on Twitch? So I'm going to walk you through some of the steps, some of the things you might need, if it's the software, hardware, different platforms that you might want to do it on. Not going into a massive level of detail, but quite a bit, and hopefully that can set people up and give them the things they need to go through. But first, I thought we might have a quick look at something, a bit of a story that popped up on our radar during the week was the Essendon Maribyrnong Women's Cricket Club participated in some form. I'm not sure whether they were physically playing a game or how it worked, but they participated in an international cricket match against the Leyland Ladies Cricket Club, which I believe is in the UK. Just the other day, a few days ago. Oh, it's probably a week now ago. What is the date? It's the 15th. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Crazy times, man. Crazy times. Sorry, my chair's falling. So the Leyland Cricket Club, they live tweeted the match on their Twitter account. What was it played on, I suppose, is a good question. What is this? What is this highlight coming from? That's the game called Cricket 19, which is the official game of the Ashes. I haven't played it myself, but it looks like it's pretty well-rounded. It looks like it's probably ahead of the curve of AFL Evolution. So cricket getting their act together there. You can get it on Steam. Steam we talked about last week, and it's only $69 on Steam, which is probably the cheapest you can get it for at the moment. On the other platforms, PlayStation 4, $99, Xbox, $99. Again, some of the prices I've talked about before. This is a pretty standard point for price point for online gaming, really, for some of the bigger brands. But yeah, you can get it on all your standard platforms. I think it's even on the Switch. So pretty much anything the kids are playing these days, the consoles, computer, you can get it on. It does say here, I just thought I'd bring up, there's a little orange notice that you require a controller to play. Now, if you're someone that doesn't have a controller, or if you don't have a console and you did want to get it on a computer, it's worth noting that Xbox 360 controllers or Xbox One controllers, they're cross-compatible with a Windows computer. They're designed with that in mind. Microsoft are the creator of the Xbox. Microsoft are the creator of Windows. And they've made it that it's very easy to get a controller from one, plug it into the other. So if you are worried about that, you can pick one up pretty cheap. You could get a third-party one for maybe $20 or $30, and then you'd be able to do this on a computer and not have to worry about getting a console. But the Leyland
controller, Cam, for us novices, that's the
right.
hand. and while you're googling that, I'll Emma Gallagher, if you're online, who from Cricket Vic, who alerted us to this great game between two clubs in two different countries. We'd love to reach out. We're going to try and reach out to Essendon Maribyrnong Ladies Cricket Club and get their take on it and how they did it, the challenges and those sorts of things. So, Emma, if you're online and you can help us in any way, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it'd be an awesome story to hear a bit more information on and how they got into it. This is where it was broadcast. Grumpy Neil on Twitch. Grumpy Neil, I guess, is just a Twitch streamer. I don't know anything about him. I've just seen that he's, I just did the digging and found out that he was the guy putting it out to the world. So he's He's live commentated the match. I think he maybe even has hosted it himself. Not really sure what's happened there. Sorry about the little bit of lag there. My computer's doing a lot at the moment. Grumpy Neil on Twitter, he's got 4,000 followers, so that's potentially quite a reasonable exposure that the Maribyrnong Essendon Cricket Club has gotten. I think they have about 1,000 followers on Twitter, so they're expanding their reach, expanding their exposure to a whole nother network. And Grumpy Neil is part of the Fierce eSports team or organization. You can see here they currently compete in Fortnite, FIFA, Street Fighter. I've never even seen some Street Fighter esports. So there's some platforms there that are quite different. But again, another 5,000 followers. So the Maribyrnong Essendon Cricket Club, they're exposing themselves to a whole nother part of the world, which is pretty cool to see. But there's that story. How do you actually do it? So what they've done is participated in an online stream, but what do you do? How do you get onto Twitch? So there's a few different things we need to talk about. If you're on a PlayStation, I found this guide on Business Insider. I'll pop it in the comments later. This walks you through the steps you need to take to actually stream something from your PlayStation to any kind of service. Really, they've got a whole bunch that you can link through, but basically you need to follow some steps where you're on your PlayStation, you get the controller out, and you link it to an account. So in this regard, we've got Twitch, we've got Twitter, we've got YouTube. Those are probably some of the bigger, well-known things. Facebook as well. If you don't know what ESL is, don't worry about it. MLG, don't worry about it. Spotify, so maybe you can do some audio live streaming with Spotify as well. I don't think you'd be able to jump straight on them. They have some gatekeeping processes at Spotify, so you can't just get involved. But there's a few steps that you need to go through, and learning to do it on a PlayStation is a bit different. The same with the Xbox. So Xbox.com have their own guide. I couldn't find the official PlayStation one, so I've got the Business Insider one there, and this will walk you through the steps you need. Again, they'll be kind of similar console to console, but for computer, that's the one I wanted to go through because that's the one I know very well. It's the one that I use when I stream games online on Twitch. You need some software. Sometimes you can do this with your graphics card. Has its own software platform that's already installed on your computer, but that's a bit more complicated. I prefer OBS Studio. It's an open source platform, software platform. The open source meaning that it's free. It's developed for the benefit of the community. It's not a commercial product, so nobody pays for it. People contribute to it, and that's kind of what happens on Twitch as well. It's not really like it's a commercial entity there. So you can get it for free. obsproject.com is the official website. Another option is Streamlabs. Streamlabs is a little bit, I find it a bit more complicated in the kind of setup process, but it's a bit more user-friendly in the actual streaming process. So they're kind of using Facebook a bit more. So people who are very familiar with Facebook might find it a bit easier to use Streamlabs. But again, it's free, but then they offer some premium services. So Streamlabs are a commercial entity. So they have some commercial products, things for upscaling that you wouldn't really need if you're just kind of starting out. So you get it installed. How do you get it to link to your YouTube channel, your Facebook, or your Twitch account? This is the Twitch dashboard that we're looking at here.
So Cam, if I can just jump in, so if we use the Essendon Maribyrnong example,
yep.
So there's one person that sets up a game, is there? And is it the one person that has to use this platform and this software, or does in that game, in the cricket game, my understanding, and we certainly will explore this, but my understanding was there was 11 players in Australia and 11 players in England playing. So do they all need to be linking in, or how does that actually kind of logistically work, Cam?
Okay, so logistically, we'll take that step back to the Maribyrnong Essendon Club. Okay, so the 22 players that would have been involved, if there's that many people involved, no, they do not need to go through all of these things. This is kind of like, say, if you use the analogy with sport, and we'll use commercial sport, we have the players on the pitch. They go about, they're the product. They're the thing that we're there to watch. The camera crews, they rock up to the ground. They bring their big cameras. They whack them on their shoulders. You know, they film. Sorry, I love a prop game. They do their thing. So they're two separate entities.
Yep.
So you think about the Twitch streaming platform, or if that's your club, you are the broadcaster.
Yeah.
So the people involved in the game, you all need to be connected to the same game so that you can broadcast what they're doing, but you're a passive participant. You are there to watch. You're a spectator. But what you do with that spectator status is you broadcast what you're seeing to the rest of the world.
Got it.
So that's the difference. The 22 participants or the 11 on the two teams, they're there. They need the PlayStation or the computer. They need to be able to connect with each other. So someone needs to be able to host all of that. Sometimes it's done by a third party. Depends on the game. Sometimes you might need, depending on the game, you might need one of those people to host the game and everybody joins them. Or it might be an online server and everybody joins that. But and then the broadcaster. If I'm just
picking up what you've said a couple of weeks ago, then Cam, then everyone would be on the same format. So if it's an Xbox, everyone's on Xbox. If it's a PlayStation game, those 22 players will be playing on PlayStation or PC or PC.
In all likelihood, yes, absolutely. Yep. Hopefully that changes soon. I'm not sure about cricket in this exact example. So I'm not going to make a claim that is the same for sure, but it is very likely that you would need to everybody be on a PlayStation or Xbox. You do have to be the same. That's the standard. That's most common.
Yeah. So separate the players from the broadcaster. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we're working out how someone in our club becomes the broadcaster, really.
Indeed. So you're taking that step back. If you're the broadcaster as the club, you're not participating in the match. Yes. Having said that, you can.
Yeah.
You absolutely can. It's not to say you can't, but think of the two processes as different things.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so we've decided we want to do that. What do we do next? We install OBS, which I have here. This is going to look a little weird. There's a lot going on. I can't show you my webcam, but I can flick it over to the other screen and kind of show you what's going on. So in this, I have a lot of things set up because I do my own streaming. How do I need to clean this up? Here we go. Okay, so OBS. Oh yeah, that's making it worse. That's good. But the important thing here is don't look at what's going on the screen because that is crazy. You need to get into the settings. So this should be a little less crazy. And we go to this stream thing here. So this is the part where you either connect with Twitch, which you can do directly through the account. You can select the different type of platform that you might want to use. So it could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, or we use what's called a stream key. Stream key means you can connect to anything. The stream key, we could connect to the platform we're using right now. We can use a whole bunch of different things. So if it's not listed here, the platform that you want to stream to, you can use the stream key.
To be fair, Ken, we're all beginners here, so we're going to go to something that's listed.
Yeah, you're probably going to go to the thing that's easy. So then it's just about connecting the account. What I do want to do, though, is quickly show you how you get your stream key. So on Twitch, that process, by the way, logging in would be quite simple. You just type in your account and then type in the password, and it kind of links them. And then you don't have to do anything else. You just select it. But if you are trying to do the other way, we go to our stream dashboard, which is this big thing. We click on those little lines, which is a general kind of look of how to get to a menu. These days, it's becoming more common. We go to our preferences, we go to our channel, and we've got our stream key right here. I'm not going to show you it. There's steps in place. It's kind of like a password. Once you've got it, you can use it everywhere. But then we copy it. We go back into OBS. We open our settings up again. We use the stream key. We paste it. So even that, it's not a complicated setup. It's just knowing what you're doing there that makes it slightly complicated. And then we hit OK.
So in outdoor, in going back to the traditional, using the analogy of traditional sport, what you're really doing there is connecting up your outdoor broadcasting band to your television audience in that case. Or
that's a perfect analogy. Brilliant. So yeah, you're just linking things. So that's I couldn't have put it better. That is wonderful. The next thing is getting the game to link with the platform. I've got one set up already, but let's do it from scratch. In the scene setting here, it might be a little bit different in the different platforms, but in OBS, you make a new scene, and I'm going to call this Rocket League in all caps sports community, and then it will be empty. So in the sources list, and we've now got a blank page, we've got nothing to show. So we use the plus button again, and we add a source. Now this, you can do a whole bunch of different things. I can put in a slideshow of pictures. I can set up a pre-recorded video that I can demonstrate. There's a whole bunch of different things. We just do display capture, which is just sharing your screen. But I want to do a game capture. So I'm going to specifically choose that. Just going to give it a random name. These are previous ones I've set up. So they are the games that I play that I've got set up to stream. And then we choose here from the mode what I want to do. I want to capture a specific window in this example. So that means that it's always going to be on. It doesn't matter what I'm doing on my screen. It's only going to show the game. That's a very good way to make sure that you're keeping some privacy, that you're not showing everything that's on your screen at all times. So it's a good thing to think about. The easiest way to do it is to just share your screen, but then you can't do things in private. You can't, everything you're doing on your screen then becomes shown to the world. So we do a specific window, and then we choose the game that you want to broadcast. I've got it open already. You need to have it running in the background. Bang, up it appears. So as you can see, this is open, but I'm not in it. I'm not doing anything. So it doesn't matter what I do on my screen here. It just shows the game. So what you're seeing on the left here is what we're setting up. On the right is what people are seeing. I hit that transition button, which puts it in. So this is kind of some broadcasting 101. And now this is what the people are seeing. So you've got preview on the left. That's so that you can see what you want to do next. You got program on the right. That's what people are going to see. And then we hit the big start streaming button on the right. And boom.
So just keeping the analogy. So the software is the broadcast van. What you link it to two places. You link it to the game that you want to be broadcasting and to the audience or the platform that you want to be broadcasting to. So
that button, I've just hit it and I'm sending it to the audience now. And hopefully, if we go back to our channel, it says I'm live at the top. And you get a preview. So now that is linked, going out to the world.
Fantastic.
Done.
But that makes a lot of sense when you, I have been a little bit trying to piece everything together over the last couple of weeks, but in converting it into traditional sport, you've got the software that's the broadcast van. You link it to the game that you're going to play, and that could be on multiple platforms, multiple games, could be anything, as long as everyone's playing on the same format of the game. You link the game to the broadcast van. You then link the broadcast van to the audience that you want to show people. So the audience is independent to the players, and they get to watch as if they're in the grandstand. And you've given us examples of that. And I saw before we were in the waiting room to come on live on StreamCam that you had an F1 racer that was obviously playing around in driving. I'm not sure whether that was live or not, but
no, it wasn't live. I was watching a replay. I was catching up on the virtual Grand Prix that had happened recently. Yeah,
cool. That's
I was just showing. I was just playing in the background just while you were talking. This is that easy. We're doing it.
Wow. Well, that makes a lot of sense, Cam. I really enjoyed that because I couldn't piece together all the bits, but converting it to things that we understand, which is professional sport, the game, the broadcast fan, the audience, that links together quite nicely. All easy to use and pretty intuitive. I mean, you started to show me OBS when we were thinking about using it for our podcast. So lots of online help on how to do this, and what you can be doing in no particular time at all is playing games against competitions overseas, against clubs overseas, and I really look forward to seeing if we can't get someone from Essendon Maribyrnong Ladies Cricket Club to come on board and talk to us about the experience, how they prepared, how they did it, what are the challenges, because I think that'd be great because it's a real life example, Cam.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It'd be great to hear the challenges in particular that they would have gone through, the thought process involved of how they came about it, and anything they thought that was challenging would be hugely insightful.
And I'd be really interested if they weren't gamers themselves before they went on this journey, kind of how they felt on that journey as well. So, so Cam, unless there's anything else for today, I think that's been 21 minutes of my time. I've very much enjoyed. So I hope everyone else has enjoyed it as well. Was that it for today, or are you going to take us on another?
No, that's it. That's it. Hopefully I didn't talk too much. There's a lot there. I probably glazed over things. You can generally find some tutorials around the web that can take you through. It's not hard to find them, specific things that you need to work out. On YouTube, for example, this stream guide that I had a moment ago, this did not take me very long. I think I just Googled how to stream on a PS4. So yeah, if you need a bit more help with the individual steps, I've given you quite an overview. That it might seem complicated to some people because I did kind of just go through it very quickly, but the individual steps, you should be able to find some help on the web quite easily. But yeah, that's it.
So fantastic, Cam. So Gary, thank you very, very much for asking your question. I know you jump on the webinar, on the live streams regularly, so thank you for that. We love the questions because if you've got a question, then lots of other people will have that very same question, and I guarantee you I will have that question. So please ask the questions in the chat, no matter whether it's live or whether you're watching the video. Just put your questions in. We'll pick them up, and then we'll answer them in the following weeks. So really exciting week with the world just easing the restrictions a little bit, and I think there's going to be a lot of information come out over the next couple of weeks from sporting peak bodies about how each of their clubs starts to reactivate. It's really, really important that we take really close attention to those guidelines, because they'll be coming out from the peak sporting body with two things in mind. One, get us back playing as quickly as possible, but two, doing it in a way that is safe and that avoids those words that we never want to see in community sport, which is sports club cluster. We just do not want a COVID-19 cluster in a sports club, because that has the potential to be quite significant health-wise and participation-wise. So really exciting times that we're hopefully working our way out of this. Try and keep away from a second wave of coronavirus, which is what we're all trying to do. So follow the rules that are coming through. Download the COVID Safe app, and we will see you all next week for another week of Sports Community live streaming. So Cameron, great work today, and to everyone else, thank you so much for being part of our sports community.